The enemy phase is back in Astra Season. I just love this, and I love Veyle. Let's just jump right in though, because I really want to see this unit, and I'm so excited. I love Veyle. This is great. So we've got Gentle Dragon. I don't play the sound on these because there's a lot of other stuff going on, but her sound effects are kind of killer. I seriously just really like them. Okay, enough of that. Obscurite. And I'm not even going to try to read this off. I don't know who is in charge of doing these things, but they are just crazy bad. Okay, so Obscurite, you've got Slaying, Omni +5, fantastic. True damage equals 20% of your res. This unit is going to have a very high res stat. Low attack res. Are you starting to see a push towards summoner duels? You're going to see more of that. And then you get a guaranteed follow-up. And to unit and allies within 2 spaces, you get Resonant Blades and Resonant Shields. This is going to be really big for you attack speed prime users, and honestly just everybody. That is an excellent thing to have on any sort of end turn unit. It's fantastic. That's all good. Like, this is great stuff. We have seen this before, and granting Resonant Blades and Shields to other units is great. It looks like this unit is going to hit really hard. That's fantastic. We have attack res finish 4. Fantastic. You're not seeing this. We'll go back over attack res tempo 4 in just a second. We'll have to do a crazy rewind. It'll be just fine because I want to get to Fel Protection. Okay, Fel Protection. Nope, not going to try to read it. We'll go back to this. Okay, attack res +5 to Veyle. Now, this is to Veyle and allies within 2 spaces. They all have to meet this res check, so keep that in mind. So you get, if your res is greater than the foe's res +5, you get 30% DR. Like, this screams Far Savior. Like, this is just, anyway, Scowl, Drive Scowl, if res is greater than foe's res +5. That's huge. That is the most powerful effect you can have on an armor right now. One of them. And this unit gives it out. Feud effects are going to go, they're going to be so valuable. Like, this is kind of nuts. Okay, and then you get attack res 4. Now, that's just to allies. Now, that isn't a ton of things, and especially for the amount of text this had. That isn't a lot of effects, but those are some very important effects. This is something that Oblivion preaches, and that individual damage reduction pieces aren't great. They're only good when they work in concert with each other. If you have a Scowl plus % base damage reduction plus true defense, that's when things get powerful. And this unit is handing out 2 of them. Again, really big. Now, this is a drive, so this is a thing that is going to work best when you're clumped. It's not a thing that you send your unit off willy-nilly to go and face the enemy. And keep in mind, for a lot of Aether raids, you only get 1, maybe 2 supports next to your unit unless it's an armor. And again, this is like if you're talking about your Omni tanks, that's going to be this way. But this is really pushing Far Saviors into the meta. So this is going to be fun. So they took away Elamine and they gave us Veyle. Hey, in about a year's time, this unit will be completely useless because something will negate it. I laugh, but it's kind of true. Okay, let's go back to attack res tempo 4. This is a really good skill. Now, whether you want this or the null follow-up version depends kind of on whether you are in a Catria Ball. If you're in a Catria Ball, attack res tempo, period. That is so very powerful compared to the null follow-up version. Null follow-up is better on speedy units, and again, the thing about Catria Balls is you're already getting 2 hits. All right. Let's read this off. Inflicts attack res -4 on foe, neutralizes effects that grant special cooldown charge +X to foe, and inflicts special charge -X on unit. Excellent, that's regular tempo. Well, other than the attack res +4, -4. And reduces the percentage of foes non-special reduces damage by X% skills by 50% during combat. And that's why I'm talking about those the new null follow-up skills, is this has that extra damage reduction that they also do. Summoners, this is very, very powerful, and I don't know that you're going to want to give this unit up, but this will be prime fodder for a lot of folks in summoner duels and also on Aether Raid's defense. That is a very powerful skill. I think I've said very too many times. Let's go over the rest of the banner here. I'm really excited. Like, that's okay. Here's where if you want to go back and listen to this with sound on, like, her sound effects are really neat. This whole crackling electricity thing, I'm a fan. But this unit has survivability, hits really hard, and supports the other units. This is a really good unit. Okay, so we have the rest of the units, and I'm not going to bother with this because you guys have seen these folks a million times. We're going to go right to the rankings, and we kind of already knew this. Like, this isn't a big shocker. The only big shocker is Diamant, who skipped the line and jumped in front of a couple of the units, including including Fallen Byleth, Rearmed Leaf, and Rearmed Crom, and Ascendant Fur. I just completely blanked on her name. Wow. Don't tell Sage Master that. So, red is, honestly, it's a push. Like, whether you got one of those units or the other, I actually like the fodder on Fallen Byleth better, who is next up in line. But Diamant is still a good unit and still a lot of fun. Can be used as a melee frontliner, and you can kind of pair him with Soren and make him a very good near save. But the big story here is blue. That's clearly first. You've got Freyr, who's the premier anima mythic right now. You've got Shez, who has lost a step, yes, but is still a good unit. I think it's very serviceable, and we talked a little bit about that in the when we were looking at the the tier list for nukes a little bit ago. And Veyle does a lot of excellent things. The question is where we're going to rank her, and we'll get to that in just a second. Second, I've got, well, let's go over the last place, and I really hate to put this in last place because Citrine is an amazing unit and an amazing toy. Let me be clear. She's an amazing toy. She is good with the right team. And I mean, that's powerful. Like, she really is a multiplier on teams. Like, she can do some amazing things. But, Eitri, who I love Eitri, but she is hurting. And Xander, was he ever good? Oh, poor Xander. If you're summoning for a Citrine, at least you get Colorless Feud along with Xander. Second up, I have clearly Colorless. Arvel is still a very good unit and a lot of fun. Ashe is good with all of the different warping skills. Her thing has gotten less good, but is still very usable. And then Ulchrist, who is, we've talked about it, but again is a good rearmed hero. I don't think he's the absolute best. So we've gone over that. Green is amazing. I cannot believe how much better green keeps getting. Like, it is the time. Like, if they give you a green mythic or legendary that you want, like, now is the time to get them. Obviously not on this one because Eitri and Xander aren't it, but be on the lookout. Let's move on to the tier list. And I mean, first up, we have to talk about the Astro Mythics. And Summoners, I don't know how you put this unit anywhere but first place. Anywhere. Like, she's really, really good. I just absolutely love this unit and everything she stands for, and I think she's going to be good in a variety of different modes. But we should talk about this tier list because I'm completely redoing the way we look at these. I think it is short-sighted to rank these just as Astro Mythics, which is mainly the way I was doing this before. I think we have to start looking at these units and how they fit into all of the other teams, whether that be Summoner Duels or Arena. When you summon for these, when you merge these up, you need these units to be good in many different modes, not just one. And I think Veyle is excellent in both Astra Season, Summoner Duels, and if you want to use her, she can be good in Arena too, although she'll score a little bit too low, but that's okay. I think she can be used there as well. Any scoring mode, honestly, I think she'd be excellent at. I think the same can be said of Haether and Altina. I think these are units that are good in multiple roles in multiple modes. You've got tier 1, and I really think this is more Plumeria and Saether both are good in Astra Season. And Plumeria is barely hanging on to the spot. She needs a refine badly. Tier 2, you've got Elamine, who continues to drop, and you've got Naga next to her, and Naga is really only good in Astra and is good in spite of herself. Like, she's a good support, but not great. And then you got tier 3, which is just hurting. But the story here is Veyle, and I mean, how do you say anything bad about Veyle? The big question is, where does Veyle sit in regards to supports? And that is really interesting. And I've been looking at this like, I don't think she's at the level of Katria, and I don't think she's at the level of Hinoka, and I don't think she's quite there with Robin, but it's right behind them. Like, I am a huge fan because of how powerful Scowl is and how much we are dependent on specials in order to do things like damage. In order to damage things. I don't know why I needed that. I really think this unit is excellent, and I think this unit is going to contribute I think this is going to contribute a ton. We'll see how I feel with the light of day. It's possible that I'm just way too high on this. You guys have seen that happen before, but I think this unit is going to age well. Honestly, I'm a big fan, and I mean, you've seen it. The question is, I mean, when we're talking about Astra Season, can she help you versus Claude? That's the big thing. And I think if you've got enough speed, you can do it. Interestingly enough, and this is a total side note, but the other way you can help against Claude is Bolt Tower, because once you get him under 25%, then he doesn't work anymore. It's neither here nor there. But looking back at Veyle, I think she is really at the cusp of meta tier versus tier 1. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I'm putting her in the meta tier. I think she will be there, but that's about where she is in the Robin range between Legendary Robin and Brave Robin. Whew, that is a lot to say. Summoners. Let me know in the comments if you're summoning for this unit. Thank you, members. You are amazing. If you want to look more into rearmed units and how I rank them, I just put out a tier list. I put way too many hours into that, so it's way too long as well. It is bookmarked, though. Take a look. Take care, and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.